Hi team, thank you for joining me in this discussion. We are gathered here today to funnel our thoughts and opinion towards the most important preparation before one attends an interview. Allow me to begin first with what I think is the most important preparation that will significantly help one to ace an interview, or in this case, a job interview, and that is the betterment of the oral communication skill. In job interviews, one will frequently trade answers and questions with an interviewer. Hence, this skill is needed to answer questions clearly and to surface questions with clarity. I believe that with a higher degree of this skill, an interviewee can manage their way of speaking throughout the interview. For instance, their pitch, tone, pauses, and even their rate of enunciation. Consequently, they will be seen as a person of eloquence, which is what interviewers look for in future employees to benefit their company in the future. I would like to hear from the others. What do you have in mind, team?
I agree with you, Sharif, but to a certain extent. As far as I'm concerned, having the skill to choose the appropriate attire is in fact important. As a matter of fact, it can be even as equal as the importance of communication, if not of oral communication, if not more. And here is why. Firstly, when you walk into the interview, the first thing the interviewer is going to see is your attire. Choosing the right attire sets the first impression in the interview. You need the first impression to be great. Secondly, the right attire will give your interviewer, or let me say your potential employer, their first impression of how you present yourself. Thirdly, your outward appearance in an interview is an employer's first glimpse of your judgment skills. Let's say you're applying for a high-level professional job in which wearing tailored suits are the normal. Showing up in anything else can indicate that you don't know what's expected of you. In addition to that, dressing appropriately shows that you have respect for your employer, clients, and you are willing to follow the directives in the workplace. What do you reckon, guys?
Hi, Mo. I believe that dressing the best attire will increase the chances of securing the job. To add up the chances, let me begin my point. Why do I feel being prepared for the question you will be asked will play a big role during your interview? When you apply for a job and you are called for an interview, there are various questions that are asked, and the better prepared you are, the more successful your interview would be. You can't possibly predict what the interviewer is going to ask, but you can practice the common ones like tell me something about yourself and why do you want to work here. So let's jump to the first common question. Tell me something about yourself. So basically over here, the interviewer is not really interested in your answer. What they are looking at is your confidence and your passion for the job. The best way to prepare for this question is to prepare an elevator pitch about who you are. You don't need to be too detailed over here. You just want to leave enough curiosity that the interview becomes excited to learn about you. So Kai, what do you feel about my point?
I agree with your point. Since we really need to prepare the question, we will be asked to gain more confidence. So I would like to begin by researching the company. First, I will research the character of every worker in the company. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, they're written by Stephen Covey, tell us, seek first to understand, then to be understood. After that, I will also need to worry about the behavior of the manager, because I think leadership is important. A leader must lead the whole team and have the enthusiasm to face any unpredictable situation at all times. So Mo, what are your views on my point?
Well, Kai, no doubt that researching the company can be very useful. But needless to say, clothing plays a big role in the interview process. You don't have to pick an expensive outfit to look good. Just keep it simple yet stylish. Keep in mind that it's always better to be overdressed than underdressed. Keep in mind as well that the candidate dressed in a suit and a tie is more likely going to make it than a candidate who's dressed in scruffy jeans and a t-shirt. Always remember to be confident and walk in with a positive and welcoming attitude. Confidence is the best accessory for an outfit. Dressing in the right attire for an interview shows that you're serious about the job and genuinely interested in the position. It also demonstrates an understanding of the corporate culture and showcases you as someone who would fit easily into the workplace dynamic. Dressing well also shows your employer that you believe in yourself, in your self-confidence. And your self-confidence is high enough to make you a great asset for the company in the future. What do you guys think?
I think that your points are all right, Mo, but I believe that choosing an appropriate attire won't drastically help someone to perform in an interview. Unlike an improved oral communication skill, where it is truly the basis of an interview. Allow me to relate this with Kuhan's opinion. Predicting questions before interviews will only get you as far as knowing what to answer them with, but not how it will sound during the interview. As I said earlier in this discussion, with a higher degree of oral communication skill, one can truly manipulate their way of speaking. For example, one can control their tone to be confident. And with that, one can truly look confident. With that being said, I truly believe that the oral communication skill is the main way of acing an interview, owning to the fact that you are able to highlight your confidence with it.
It's an interesting perspective. I highly agree that oral communication skills is more important than knowledge and self-confidence. But also here, I would like to add on my point by researching the honor and the ranking for the company. I think the first impression a company makes to outsiders matters, whether it's worth anyone to work hard at the company or not. Because when I tell my friends about the company I work for, I'm going to have to worry about the company's first image. Besides, a company with good reputation will get more supporters and will have more resource for me to develop my skill. So Kuhan, what are your views on my point?
I see your point, Kai. Let's not forget how well a candidate can make a good impact by answering the question without doubt. Moreover, let's jump to the second question, or we can call it as a crucial question. Where do you see yourself in the future? People really struggle to answer this question because you yourself have no idea where you would like to be. So what a good answer to this question will sound like, showing how committed you are going to be with this company. Keep in mind that you are in an interview setting, so you don't need to go into all details about what your personal life goals are for the next 5 years. Basically, your answers over here will be creating a bond with the company you are applying for. Additionally, our answers to the question must include our knowledge, personalities, and of course, our body language. But remember, there is no one right way to interview and answer the question. Be yourself and let your personality shine. Does anyone agree with me?
Yes, Kuhan. Besides that, I would like to research about what is the most attractive part of the company to me, because I only work in the company that I am interested in. The jobs the company gave me will affect my working skill. After that, I will also focus on how much salary the company can give me. This is the motivation for me to work in the company. Aside from money and experience, the connection from human to human is the most important thing to me and cannot be lacking in this job. So what do you guys think about my points?
Before agreeing with you, Kai, please allow me to intervene. Team, you must not forget that the oral communication skill is truly the basis of an interview. There is no doubt that in an interview, one will have to speak their way into obtaining the job. Therefore, that is why I think the oral communication skill is crucial in interviews and must be improved before heading to a job interview. So Kai, Kuhan, and Mohammed, what would you think about this point of mine?
I would say that the team agrees with you, Sharif, because without improving the oral communication, our interview would not go well even with the best attire we afford and the many kinds of preparation we had made beforehand.
I do indeed agree with you, Sharif. Surely oral communication is the basis, and it would most likely decide whether you get accepted or not. However, you would have to make sure your skill is at its best, as it's the fundamental key into your acceptance.
That's true, Sheriff. I agree with you too. Thank you, team, for the great outputs. On this topic in general, I strongly believe that we can all agree that the improvement of the oral communication skill is the most important preparation before heading to a job interview.